Hi, welcome to Universal Interiors. I'm Les Ingelstead, and you are with me in the kitchen today. I'm very happy about this banana bread recipe. That's what it looks like. Raina's going to do you a favor and give you a little closer and some details in it. But there again, once I'm diving into the church cookbooks, they've got so many treasures. You kind of weave your way into some of these recipes at times, and then you decide maybe it needs a little more of this and a little more of that. That's what I'm going to do with this recipe today. But anyways, it's one of our family's favorites. And I'm going to start with a cup of oil. And you can use any kind of oil you want on that, really. I haven't yet tried coconut oil, but that's one of those good for you kind of oils. I'm just using kind of a blend right now. So I'm taking a 1/3 cup oil, veggie oil, whatever you'd like. And then I'm going to take a couple eggs. We got to crack those open for us. And we're going to put that in there. And generally speaking, you can do the eggs and beat them before you do it into the oil. But I did the opposite today. So you just kind of blend that all up there. I got some oil and some eggs. And then in goes about 3/4 of a cup of sugar, I believe my recipe calls for. So I'm diving in here. And again, I just really hope that y'all can find some organic sugar. These days it's so nice that it's affordable, but that's really what we try to do. You can use anything you want, of course, but this is just Leslie's desire for all of us to get a little healthier when we eat these foods that may not be as healthy as the doctor tells you. But I'm pretty convinced that there's a reason why we have all these things in the church cookbooks, and a lot of people lived a long time. So I'm thinking it's a good thing, right? So there, I've done it. I've blended up the liquid part of the deal. And you can go ahead and get this going ahead of time. I, however, did not today. I am going to put now in my big old cup, I'm going to go for about 1.5 cups, it tells me to do flour. So we'll do 1.5 cups. I kind of do things in the big bulk. I don't know if all of you out there have thought to do that, but these days it sure is a great way to go. And you can go, I try to visit Costco because they've brought in a lot of organics. I know that a lot of people go with wheat blends and that, and then there's a lot of people that don't even want to try wheat anymore in their diets, so you can try this with rice, some things that are gluten-free. But there I am, I'm at about 1.5 cups of flour. In that, I'm going to sneak in some soda, a little bit of baking soda. It says about 3/4 teaspoon. I always just use one of these little teaspoons and go about, not quite full, more like 1/2. And I also sneak in just a wee bit of baking powder. However, it doesn't tell you to do that. For some odd reason, I think it's just a little bit better if you do. But again, my favorite thing to add to just about anything is cinnamon. So again, not in this recipe, but it is going to be in it when you make it, because it's very important. Did you see me just kind of shaking? I'm sorry, I forgot one of those. Could be about a tablespoon. It's kind of about 3 shakes worth of my cinnamon. I kind of actually look, if you can see this, and I'm sure Raina's doing a great job as always, you get it. I almost wait until it's a little bit dark in that, and that's the amount of cinnamon I put in there. Okay? You can add a lot of different kinds of things. You could put ginger in there. You could put nutmeg in there. Today I'm just simply doing cinnamon. Okay, so I've got flour, I've got soda, a little bit of powder, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of salt. And really, that's all I do. It's just, I guess the recipe probably says pinch. This is 1/2 teaspoon. I'm just not a big salt girl. So I've got that all mixed together. Okay, now remember, I've got that liquid that we did up, the oil, the sugar, and the eggs. I've got my dry ingredients. Now, this is the other addition. Okay, so the recipe calls for no milk, but another recipe calls for milk. I found that I like to add just a little bit. So what my deal is, I start to do, like I said, this is going to be a little over a 1.5 cups. I'm going to do about 1/3 of it. So I'm going to pour that in. And then I'm going to stir that, okay? So I poured just about 1/3 of it in. And then I'm going to do about a tablespoon of milk, okay? So just a splash. I hope this doesn't offend any of you cooks, but I've done about a tablespoon in that mix, okay? So now I've got flour and I've got milk, and that's what I'm putting together. go back, and I'm going to do now, should be about a third left after I've done the pouring. And again, I must have seen this somewhere, but I've just kept it developed in my little banana bread recipe. So now I'm stirring that in there. Oh, I almost forgot. I absolutely forgot the core. That is something that we must remember here at Universal Interiors, and for all of you out there, because we have to do something. It's a new year, right? Work on that and how we look. Yeah. Besides that, absolutely no. The fact is if we get strong right here, we'll be all around better. There's something to that. I know that's just the way that God's designed us, for sure. So while we're busy in the kitchen, being at bread, which some people tell us not to eat anymore, I certainly don't understand that kind of thinking, because we want a little bread. Okay, so now, as you can see, it's getting pretty thick. Now again, just think, if I didn't add any milk, how thick that would be. Oh, perhaps I should put some bananas in there. That's the other little mix that you do with the liquid. I'm going to take 1.5 bananas, and I'm just going to, now what I do most often time, I don't know if you saw that, it doesn't look so pretty, it's because it's been frozen, okay? So I took it out of the freezer this morning, and I've got a banana and a half, and it works great. It turns it into kind of a liquid, okay? There we go. Isn't that crazy? And you can just push it right out of the banana, and there you have it. Perhaps it's one of the reasons was a little thick. But the other reason is because I like to have it moist, and that's where the little bit of milk comes in. Okay, so now what you can see is that squished in banana. You can certainly do it with the table banana sitting there. It's fine, perfect. But I was told one time, what the heck do you do with all these bananas when they go bad? Nowadays you can do juices, little smoothies. That works great. Otherwise, you shove a bunch in your freezer, and you can just have a really quick, very functioning banana for banana bread. Again, that was a banana and a half. You can take it a little bit more. But now you should be just about the consistency. And as a baker, that's what you kind of watch for. Okay? You want it to be not too thick, because then it's going to be dry. It's as simple as that, though. There is a few ingredients in this, but I definitely think you'll be happy when you try this. I have already just done a little spray on the pan, the loaf pan, and now it's just going to be putting it in there. It is a lower temperature. It's 325 that the recipe calls for, okay? In anywhere from 300 to 350 is what a lot of these banana bread recipes. So I think, again, I would tinker with it depending upon, I use a gas stove, so that's about right for me. I do that. But again, it is going to be about 325 at 45 minutes. What I would do, as like if you're watching cookies or bread, muffins, coffee cakes, whatever you look at, you just kind of keep an eye on it after about 40 minutes or about 5 minutes before the recipe says, because everybody's kitchen is a little different. Here we go. We're about ready to put this on into, oh, I had just a moment of relapse about this core. We are ready to put it into the oven and look forward to bringing it out and sharing it with you.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
See your local auto owner's insurance agent, Schiller Insurance, on Washington Avenue, downtown Detroit Lakes.
Hey, welcome back. Here it is. The banana bread is out of the oven, sliced up and ready to eat or freeze, whatever you decide to do. I hope you enjoy this. And again, Raina will put this recipe in there, and you could add a little bit or take a little bit away, whatever you decide. Just enjoy that, and thanks again for turning your eyes on Universal Interiors today. Have a great day.